The Cotton Club during the 1920s, located in Harlem, was a popular nightclub. Many Harlem residents went there to enjoy their night. There were many things to enjoy, like the performing artists and the dancing audience. There were also drinks to enjoy in the Cotton Club, which made it famous in the 1920s.
The Apollo was a theater that had live performances and movies. Some of the performers are Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Sammy Davis Jr., Nat King Cole. These are all artists that had their start to fame on the Apollo stage. So to say, the Apollo was the hopeful starting point of many people's career.
People had a unique clothing style in Harlem in the 1920s. Men mostly wore suits and ties, while women wore a variety of clothes like dresses, outfits, footwear, jewelry, headwear, etc.
This picture shows a live performance of the Cotton Club. As you can see from the picture, they are playing an upbeat song. These are the normal types of songs played at the Cotton Club, and it goes well with the dancing of people.
Langston Hughes was a popular poet during the Harlem Renaissance. Many of his works, such as I Too, was popular during the Harlem Renaissance for depicting the African American people's yearning for rights. He was also popular for writing jazz poetry.
Alain was a great philosopher and one of the major contributors of the Harlem Renaissance. He was very well known for the New Negro, Voice of the Harlem Renaissance, which is an anthology of many Harlem Renaissance works. The New Negro was the Bible of the Harlem Renaissance.
W.E.B. Du Bois was a scholar and activist. He became the first African American to earn a Ph.D. from Harvard University. Not long after late childhood, Du Bois published his landmark study, The Philadelphia Negro, a social study.
Cornell Hurston was a popular author during the Harlem Renaissance. She was famous for portraying racial struggles in her works. She was born in Alabama in the southern region of the U.S., where she experienced racism and prejudice.
Augusta Savage was a popular sculptor during the Harlem Renaissance. One of her famous sculptures is of an African-American boy. The sculpture is called Gamin, which translates to street urchin in French.
Ella Fitzgerald was an American jazz singer, sometimes referred to as the First Lady of Song, Queen of Jazz, and the Lady Ella.
Jacob Lawrence was an African-American painter known for his portrayal of African-American life. Lawrence referred to his style as dynamic cubism. His own account, the primary influence was not so much French art as the shapes and colors of Harlem.
Washington, although he died before the Harlem Renaissance, was a major voice in the Harlem Renaissance. He was born a slave in Virginia 9 before the end of the Civil War. After that, he attended Hampton University and graduated. He founded Tuskegee University to help free men to learn trades such as sewing, crafting, etc.
The Harlem Renaissance was the moment for African Americans to come together and express themselves freely. The Harlem Renaissance changed how the USA viewed African Americans forever.